Hi, my name is Fortune Tlalo, and I'll be doing this remotely since I'm not able to attend the lecture today. My classmates will answer all other questions and carry on with the presentation. I'm talking about the literature reviewed, the papers that we looked at. First, one of the interesting ones was the source file, 2010. Here, they talk about telecom and mobile provider security challenges. One of the main issues is that security measures are not yet seen as business enablers, but rather as more of an inhibitor to business. Security requirements are not implemented at the early stage of a project, and as we all know, at the beginning of the project is where requirements are gathered, and security requirements, if not gathered at that point, will be hard to implement at a later stage. Challenges with current implementation of NIPS in telecommunication. IPS generate large number of events, which cause the process of event analysis and response to be very difficult for security administrators. There is a need for frequent updates of rules. Challenges with current implementation of NIPS in telecommunications and mobile providers. Needing large manpower to handle the events for big telecommunication companies. High implementation, support and maintenance costs. Lack of cybersecurity awareness among staff members. It always seems to come down to your staff and your workers in order to attain some of these security requirements. Another paper was the White House Cyberspace Police Review. Apparently, the government has the responsibility to address these strategic vulnerabilities to ensure that the United States and its citizens, together with a large community of nations, can realize the full potential of information technology revolution. This approach requires clarifying the cybersecurity related role and responsibilities of the various federal departments and agencies, while providing the policy, legal structures, and necessary coordination to empower them to perform their mission. The United States cannot succeed in securing cyberspace if it works in isolation. This shows that public and private sector interests are intertwined with a shared responsibility for ensuring a secure, reliable infrastructure. It states that by working with international partners, the United States can best address challenges, enhance cybersecurity, and reap the full benefit of the digital age. The next paper was titled Cell Phones, a Security Risk to Your Business. As these smartphones get smarter and smarter, a lot of them are finding themselves on the company networks, and company documents are being viewed on some of these smartphones. So this is an analysis of security on cell phones. It reviews Charlie Miller's proof that malicious apps can be uploaded on the so-called secure Apple application market. Apple has always claimed that its applications are not malicious, but a hacker by the name Charlie Miller was able to introduce a stock ticker disguised application which was malicious, and Apple approved it and launched on their market, and it turned out that the scrutiny of applications was not as thorough as they thought it was. A big worm that affected a lot of phones in Asia, it's called the 6CView worm. This gave you a link that enticed people of the male persuasion to look at sexy pictures, but then it took you to a website where it will just upload viruses on your cell phone. It mostly affected the Nokia kind of phones. Other threats are phishing, theft of data, malware, spam, social engineering, and viruses. Social media is currently being accessed from mobile phones. Facebook contacts and Outlook contacts are being integrated into phone contacts automatically. So just imagine if you lose your phone, the person who finds your phone or hacks into your phone has this wealth of information, and so they can easily spread more spam and malicious software amongst your contacts. As I mentioned before, accessing work email or documents on mobile devices is a threat, given that the documents are sensitive. If you lose your phone, someone might be able to get the same access that you had. There's a couple of tips here on securing your cell phones. They insist on password protection. You should always have your phones locked and password protected, just in case you lose your phone or someone steals your phone. Use encryption with appropriate software installed. Data can be deleted remotely if your phone is compromised. You need to update your operating system and install the patches to stay up to date, which can help in closing some of those loopholes that are out there. Utilize antivirus software. People should really start treating their phones like they treat their laptops, because they're also prone to the same viruses that we find on our desktop machines and laptops. Warn about malicious sites, and an interesting part about this is that there are phone numbers that people should avoid, which might be linked to premium calls and other malicious stuff. Educate users about phishing, and shut out unknown Bluetooth devices. Some phones, the default might be to on, and a lot of the times people can force the pairing of your device with their device to access your information. So be wary of that, and be wary of open Wi-Fi networks. You never know who's actually controlling that network. You're open to eavesdropping attacks on that one. And there's a paper on small telcos tackling cybersecurity. This paper looks at the smaller companies and shows the challenges that they face in respect to cybersecurity. Small telecoms face cybercrime such as distributed denial of service attacks, which are the most difficult to prevent, website defacing, domain name server, cache poisoning, phishing scams. This paper also goes on to outline 8 things that telecoms and their subscribers can do to improve security, which is almost similar to the one that we mentioned prior. For the rest of the papers, we looked at cyberspace, a paper called Cybersecurity from International Telecommunication Union, ITU, and some papers from the Federal Communications Commission. Topic 19 was Communications Interdependencies. Topic 20, Cybersecurity and Communications. And then we looked at On Attack, Causality in Internet-Connected Cellular Networks by Trenor and the other authors listed there. We did one on Software Security Assurance of Telecommunication Systems by Savola Rejo. We did one on Protect the Enterprise in Your Pocket, Managing Mobility with iPhone, iPad Security by Ahmed Datu. Wide range of GSM modules, SCADA systems, vulnerable to remote control attacks by Dennis Fisher. And then something that was interesting is the Apple laptop vulnerability to hacks that kill or corrupt batteries. Someone managed to hack into the firmware that's on the battery, and they were able to cause the batteries to overheat and batteries are known to explode, so that explosion could be a possibility. And what was interesting is that they managed to store a virus on the battery that would keep that could keep reinfecting the machine. So no matter how hard you try to clean your machine, just turn your machine on would reinfect it, as the virus was on the battery. That's the end of my clip. Thank you.